Hello everybody, it's Junkrat Main Jester here, back again, proving that I'm a metalhead because I have a Slipknot t-shirt on. Hello, welcome. This is a video that I didn't think I'd ever be in a position to make because I'm not this kind of person, but you know, YouTube in 2020 is all about trying new things, seeing what sticks, so here we are. This is Jester's take on the Royal Rumble for 2020. Now, if you follow the Twitch channel, or maybe you just saw the promo and checked it out for the first time, we did do a reactions video for the Royal Rumble, or reaction stream for the Royal Rumble. We tend not to give our opinions too much on there. We generally just talk shit and react to what's going on. So I thought I'd make this a bit, maybe, hopefully, a bit of a short video, and we'll see how we feel about everything. Let's go with the kickoff show matches first. Our first one was Sheamus versus Shorty G. Bit of a nothing match, really. We weren't really paying much attention to it. Sheamus beat Shorty G. We kind of predicted that. Sheamus is making, you know, his big, bold, bad return. Shorty G's, you know, pretty much a jobber at this stage. There's not really much to say about this, honestly. Next up is the United States Championship. That is Andrade, who is the champion, versus Humberto Carrillo, who is, I think it's his first match returning from injury, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. Andrade put his head into concrete, so we can call that an injury, I suppose. Again, not a huge match. I think I said this on the stream. I have a bit of an issue at the moment where, unless it's an established name that I know, and I know I'm guilty of this as most casual fans are, I don't really have much investment in these characters. Andrade is very much a character I don't really pay that much attention to because he has his manager, Zelina Vega, help him out in virtually every match. By the way, exception here, Zelina Vega didn't actually interfere, which we were all very surprised by. And Carrillo is just a name that I don't know. I think he's quite well known by, you know, certain groups of people, but it's not someone as me as a casual fan really knows that well. So again, not really much of an investment in this match. Andrade won, which is unsurprising. He seems to just relentlessly beat up Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo for the US title, which is, sure, why not? I guess that's a thing. After that, we have our first match of the night, or main match of the night, I should say, in the actual Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself, and that was Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is quite an interesting match. I enjoyed this. We did spend the first half of the match going, all right, where are they? Where are the Usos for Reigns? Where's Ziggler and Rude for Corbin? You knew it was coming, and predictably it did. Before any of the interference actually happened, it was quite a good back and forth. There was definitely, like, as it often happens, it isn't really, you know, Falls Count Anywhere match. It's Falls Count Definitely Not in the Ring match. You know, they immediately start beating each other out of the ring and through the crowd. You know, it's very much an exhibition match, but it's cool. You know, it's fun to see, and I imagine being live there and seeing people get punched in the mouth, you know, live is pretty cool. So they went into the production area. Rude and Ziggler jumped Reigns. Reigns had Usos back him up. They kind of took care of each other after a while. Corbin and Reigns carried the fight on, and to finish the match, Reigns speared Corbin on a big World Series sign. It was pretty cool. It was an interesting match. Reigns won, obviously. But yeah, no, it was quite an enjoyable match for what it was. Alright, I'm going to need some reference material for this one, but this is the Women's Royal Rumble. Okay, what do we say about this? Okay, so here's weird. 9 people were announced for the start of the match. Then 2 got unconfirmed, to bringing it to 7. So a lot of surprises in this match. And then, even though Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville said they were in it, and then they were no longer in it, they got confirmed before the match even started that they were in it. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, but in the end we had 9 people that we effectively knew about that were going to be in the match. A lot of cool returns. Beth Phoenix came through, which was pretty cool. Ended up, we don't really know what happened. I haven't seen anything news-wise, but she ended up like getting a cut on the back of her head, and her blonde hair quickly became ginger. It was quite scary. I was saying throughout the watching it, it's like, can we kick her out just so we can get her checked out? I'm kind of worried about her because she was looking like quite, like, you know, off her feet and dizzy a little bit. So yeah, hopefully she's okay. As of recording this, I haven't actually had a chance to find out what's going on with that. So there was a couple of other good spots. Mandy Rose was nearly eliminated, but landed on Otis. Otis, I assume, was under the ring and like slid out, and Mandy landed like face on top of him. So good moment for Otis there, but also, you know, Rose saved from elimination, so that was pretty cool. But then later on, Rose is teetering on the edge, Otis is there to catch her. Sonya Deville accidentally punches her, and Rose lands in Otis's arms. And then I forget who it was, but Deville then gets eliminated herself into Mandy and Otis, and the two of them are eliminated. Obviously, Otis wasn't part of the women's match. But speaking of men being involved, it's a big waste of a spot. And I'm glad I wasn't around during the WWE that this shite came from. But Santino Morello, who's already a waste of existence as it is, appeared as Santina Morella. Came into the ring, was like, oh my god, actual women that are good at wrestling now, and then eliminated him/herself. So, I don't know, it just seemed like a complete shite waste of time for me, but whatever, I guess, whatever. And entering number 30, Shayna Baszler, who came in and eliminated like 7 people in a row, just like they were nothing. It was quite good. I think the ring was a bit too full, so Shayna Baszler was like, yeah, we need to just get rid of a few people. It's a bit packed in here, so yeah, but long story short, final 2 came down to Shayna Baszler and Flair. Flair won. It was kind of expected. I myself had a bet on Charlotte Flair being the winner there, so yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. After that, it was the SmackDown Women's Championship between Bayley and Lacey Evans. Not a lot to say here, honestly. I think it was the unofficial toilet break match. Not because it was women, but because I don't think a lot of people really enjoy watching Bayley wrestle. Evans is still a bit too new to the casual fan, I think, for anybody to really enjoy what she's doing. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best match of the night. But yeah, Bayley ended up retaining, which looked a bit messy. I think there was a couple of matches, really, where there was a free count, but you couldn't really tell there was a free count. Yeah, not a lot to say, really. I didn't really enjoy it that much. They had a bit of a back and forth with the daughter being in there. Someone in our Rumbles Reacts live stream said, oh, the daughter's there, you already know they're not going to win, which seems to be a bad omen in WWE. If you have your family at ringside, you're going to lose. So, yeah, Bayley ended up defeating Lacey Evans and keeping her championship. After that was actually maybe made the match even better because of how bad the one previous was, but the Universal Championship, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. It was a strap match, which, if you're unfamiliar, it means you are strapped to your opponent quite a distance, so as you can imagine, immediately being used as a weapon. People whipping each other back and forth, it was great. A couple of highlights from this match. One, we found out The Fiend is just a normal human being. Why do I know that? Daniel Bryan low-blowed him, and he felt it. If he was some kind of monster, he wouldn't have even like powered through it and wouldn't have been an issue. But no, luckily, it turns out the Fiend is just a normal human being, so that's pretty cool. There was a lot of back and forth here. There was more than a couple of times where he thought, hang on, Daniel Bryan might actually do this. He ended up not doing this, unfortunately. But yeah, the way he was just like powering back up, as Daniel Bryan does, it was interesting, really, because I think a lot of people were expecting The Fiend to become a bit of an unstoppable force, where, you know, you saw how he was just swatting people away during, like, interference of other matches and stuff like that, and, you know, not really seeming to have a weakness. I honestly think they did a lot more, you know, smacking people in the nuts, jokes aside. They made a lot more of an effort to make The Fiend more human, if that makes sense. Because I feel like you are walking into a bit of a situation where you make him look unstoppable. Either when somebody beats him, they're going to look ridiculously strong, or they're going to have to cheat. Or you just end up having to really just randomly have him be weak. And that never looks good. It's a case of like, oh, he's so strong, he's been beating everyone. Then just once he gets beaten by somebody else, it's like, what happened? Did someone tie his legs together? What happened? To me, they're doing a good job of bringing... It's going to be a weird way to describe this. Bringing his power level down. Because otherwise, if you have him run riot over everybody, and then just one day, one rivalry works out where he is beaten, you either have a weird power acceleration thing, or you have a deceleration thing of an extreme way. There's two ways that could go, and yeah, I think they did a good job of like giving The Fiend and Daniel Bryan very decent chances here. Both looked like they could win at different times, so yeah, it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I think it was one of the best Universal Championship matches that I've ever seen, which probably isn't that difficult because most of them involve Brock Lesnar. After that, we had another championship match. It was the Raw Women's Championship between Becky Lynch and Asuka. Again, really good match. Really enjoyed this one. not too much to note, really. I think the main great point of this was Kairi Sane didn't really interfere, I don't think, which is nice. I do appreciate it when win/losses don't involve a manager. I get that's why they're there, and I get heels are supposed to bring them out to have that happen. It's like, oh, they only win because of this, blah, 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 but it's a tired trope. It's like the cowardly heel that, for some reason, WWE absolutely loves. They rarely bring out monster heels anymore, which is quite sad, I suppose, you know, despite the fact I complained about Brock Lesnar a second ago. At least they have him as a monster heel. Most of the time they run and hide behind people. Like Seth Rollins, again, is a cowardly heel. He's hiding behind the AOP. He's hiding behind Buddy Murphy. He's not, you know, jumping people and stuff like that and actually getting into people's faces. It just annoys me, and the whole manager trope is also the same. It's very overplayed in 2000 and beyond. So, yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen too much. Also, a great moment was Asuka trying to use the green mist once again. You saw the interference happening and setting up for the green mist, and luckily Becky Lynch just kicked her straight in the stomach and somehow she sprayed it all over her own face, which was kind of weird. I'm not quite sure how that happened because she had to spray outwards, but it still went on her face, on Asuka's face. So, yeah, luckily that gave Becky Lynch the win via disarmer, keeping a championship, and yeah, it was really good, really good. I really enjoyed it. And finally, the men's Royal Rumble. I know it said men's women's Royal Rumble. That's not how that works. Santino Marella involved again. So, before this match, we supposedly knew 27 of the entries. Bit weird, because like we do enjoy having our surprises and stuff like that. We ourselves in the community like to do a bit of a predictions thing. Yeah, there was 3 people, supposedly, but I think at some point they got rid of like 4 or 5 different people because there were way more surprises than there should have been. Not that many notable. So let's start off. Brock Lesnar and Elias started off the match. Elias was actually quite funny. He's trying to do an entrance song thing, but Lesnar got sad and beat him up. Lesnar basically eliminated each person as they came in, bar a couple of times, one by one as they came in. Got very boring very quickly, but I did say I could see why they were doing this. I think he got to 13 eliminations before we had Ricochet and Drew McIntyre in the ring. Ricochet low-blowed Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre claymored him over the rope. It was incredible. It was such a good elimination. I think they've really, in that very moment, like even if he didn't go on to win the match itself, spoilers, Drew McIntyre had won the Royal Rumble just by eliminating Brock Lesnar. And I think somebody did say, it's like, oh no, they've given him that moment. He's not going to win. But yeah, a couple of good moments. Edge returned. I wasn't as hype as everybody else was. I think I just get a little bit annoyed when they bring back wrestlers that are over bloody 45 at this stage. But no, it was cool to see him again. I didn't really watch WWE much when he was in. You know, I only occasionally caught it, so no, it was cool to see him return. Other than that, there are a few other good moments. You had Keith Lee and Braun Strowman in at the same time as Brock Lesnar, and I thought this was a bit bullshit, but Lesnar eliminated both of them at the same time, so I guess, you know, whatever. But yeah, other than that, Seth Rollins entered at 30, of course, with AOP and Buddy Murphy. They started cleaning house a bit, getting rid of people and chucking everyone left and right, and eliminations happening. In the end, which this was a really good way to balance this as well. I think Buddy Murphy got knocked out or something, or taken out or removed. Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe both got eliminated, and they ended up brawling with AOP back up the entrance ramp. So I feel like that was a good way to remove them out of the match, because otherwise you could have had a situation where it was, you know, Rollins and his cronies all taking out everybody out, and that wouldn't have been as interesting. Yeah, we had Edge betray Randy Orton after it looked like they were going to work together. And the match, it was Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I had money on McIntyre, so I was really hoping he'd win. Yeah, after a bit of back and forth, he won. So yeah, there's your Royal Rumble winner for 2020, Drew McIntyre, and he will just to, you know, if you've hopefully you've seen Raw already or heard about Raw, Drew McIntyre will be challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. So yeah, looking forward to see how that goes. Well guys, there is your Royal Rumble roundup. I've no idea what I'm going to call it. It's not a reactions video, it's not a review, I don't really know what it is, but hey, if you guys enjoyed it, I'll probably make more of these. But for now, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please check out my other content available on youtube.com/JesterOnDemand, twitch.tv/Jestertainment, twitter.com/Jestertainment_, and a load of other links underneath, with now helpful descriptions that will tell you what the links will take you to. Boys and girls, thank you for watching. I shall see y'all in the next one. See ya. Hello fellow gamers, you've unlocked the extra ending. Yeah, I thought I would do this as a separate video, but we've already given the reasons for various things in the video itself, so let's go and finish this off. Royal Rumble itself, the men's Royal Rumble, it was amazing, let's be honest. Becky vs Asuka, it was a good match. Reigns versus Corbin, good match. Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan, very good. Sheamus versus Shorty G was a toilet break match for sure. Andrade versus Carrillo, toilet break match. Bayley versus Lacey Evans was and finally the women's Royal Rumble was also amazing. Yeah, I you know, you may disagree with that. I could have gone into reasons a bit more, but I explained them earlier in the video. So there was no alright matches. You know what I mean? They were either brilliant or they were either crap. That's kind of the way to go. So if you enjoyed that extra quick Jester ranks off, hey, give me a thumbs up and a like in the comments, and I'll do more. Bye.